Good morning, Rabbi Sai. Take a look at this, all you guys from England.
3 hours later.
Good morning, Rabbi Sai. Hashmonaim. Hashmonaim. How do you pronounce it?
Hasmonean.
That's not how you pronounce it. No way. How do you pronounce it? Hasmonim?
Eli, can you not argue with me, please?
If you be right one time during the shir, then I wouldn't argue.
How do you pronounce the name?
He said Hasmonim.
Hasmonean. Thank you.
I asked him, not you. I'm not even arguing with you.
You ask anyone you want.
Rabbi Amram Landau learning the daf on a coach tonight on a trip to Poland with his Talmidim of Hasmonean High School.
Oh, look at you getting it right like that.
Rabbi say, so for the daily update, first of all, we have a date. April 2nd and 3rd. That is our official date. It's basically like 2 weeks from now. A week after Purim is the big date. Right? As of now, we're doing not bad at all. We have 195 people that took upon themselves a page. These are 195 people that are raising the flag and they're saying, oh, Torah is changing my life and I want to involve my family and friends. You hear that? We're gonna have to get a get together here at Ramat Bet Shemesh. We got to get this number up a little bit. Shalom Aleichem. What's your name? Zach Goldlance.
Yeah.
From Teaneck, and that is
Northern Goldlance from Hollywood, Florida.
Nice. Donnie's not doing Steinmeiger. Charlotte, what's your name? Oh, your brothers. Okay, we got it. Very nice. Okay, anybody else? Why are you staying so far away? Because you're brothers. You're moved? There's no such thing in this shit. Here, you know what? You sit over here. Yo, get over here. Get over here. You have a special seat. You move him, he gets the best seat in the house. What happened to you? He's back. Gershon is back. Rabbi Yisai Gershon is back. So I want to make a few announcements. This all goes with, just yesterday somebody sent me one of these, it was from charity actually. There's a young guy in Moshav here, 3 children, he's like in his 20s. He got the machla in his head. And in one day they raised $1 million for him, charity. And usually I take these things and I throw in the garbage, so it's another charity, another one, like 20 of them a week. But this time I stopped and now I have much more feeling for it. Shalom Aleichem, how you doing? Thanks for being here. What? Son's bar mitzvah. Where's the son? Don't tell me he's sleeping. He didn't want to get... Because he's not a bar mitzvah. First of all, we have a big mazel tov for Rabbi Schoenberg. This is Rabbi Schoenberg. The reason why he was sleeping 2 days ago is because his grandchild became a chassan. That's not the reason. He's not even a chassan yet? Oh, I'm saying 2 days ago. No, that's why you were up the whole night. You're davening the night. That's what I'm saying. His Shmuli Angel engaged to Engel Rena Bracha Morris. Angel. I said Angel. He said Angel. How do you do it?
I would have told you could have been said.
From Golders Green. All right, mazel tov. All right, let's check this out real quickly. So that we're going to start announcing these events. I don't know when's the event here in Ramat Bet Shemesh. That's what I want to know. But in Brooklyn, which includes Borough Park, Flatbush, Crown Heights, and Williamsburg, 1301 East 27th Street, run by Yisrael Goldstein and Akiva. Ziegler probably, right? It says Akiva. Monsey is in Rabbi Center Shul in Wesley Hills this Wednesday. Yona Rothman, Molandi, Michael Zimmerman. They have a geschmacka team here. Shmari Zellengold, Shlomi Rosenberg, David Badiel, Yossi Klein, Mark Ashkenazi. What a team. Maybe Avraham. We should get Avraham in Bar Park, no? Avraham should get. What else? We have in Florida, we have a Zoom meeting on Tuesday. Michael Benchetrit, of course. Waterbury, we're having a Zoom Sunday. Yisrael Moshe Weinreb. North Jersey, we're having a Zoom this Wednesday. Our new captain, Joel Mizrahi. More locations coming in soon. The biggest and the best is going, the 2 biggest and best that we're hoping for are Baltimore and Los Angeles. They're going to go from the sleepers to the doers. Chicago has a good one. Simi Mendelbaum, I guess. Rabbi Yisai, yesterday we got an email that said that if Bitcoin goes up to a certain price, and then Elvis is very against the whole Bitcoin thing, the guy said that if Elvis buys $1 of Bitcoin, then he will donate another $1,000 to MDY, and here's the proof that Elvis actually bought exactly $1 of Bitcoin. He went out of his way. Seriously, how long did it take you to buy?
I already have some.
What's wrong with you? That's why you're so against it, because you bought it over here, and okay. Somebody sent in this picture. It's one of the best pictures ever. Oh, there's a kid in the picture also. Hold on a second. I didn't have. 1 second. 1 second. I don't know. Jonathan, I'm trying to get you zechus for next year. You know what? Seriously, as insulting as it was, and I'm walking like this with my tail between it was one of the best ones ever. Yeah, it was one of the best ones ever, I gotta say. You put a lot of koiches into it. You went out of your way, bought stuff, you actually spent money. You stole my artist for a few days. It was good. It was good stuff. Shalom Aleichem Reb Eli Shlita. Regrettably, I fell behind Bava Kama. Bekitzer, he fell on Daf. A lot of people, that's the Daf that people fell off the bandwagon. Bava Kama Daf Tesvav. I'm assuming somewhere around there. Some people, Bava Kama Daf Gimel. Right around Bava Kama somewhere, a lot of people fell off. So he says like this. This Penny, we all know Penny. He did a whole interview about, okay, we're not going to get into it. Kitzer, he said that he's the one that said that MDY saved his life. He had a very, very bad experience when he was a kid. So he says he fell off the bandwagon, and after watching the video on Daf, Kuf Yutches, 103 days later, with Nussi Spiro, I was inspired by him to start again from fresh. I was inspired by Nussi. So his daughter, Shandy, who works in a place where Nussi wears an MDY cap with pride, put me on a video call with Nussi where it gave me much needed chizuk. He had one request. He must get an MDY t-shirt before Purim. He says, Purim. So I posted on an MDY WhatsApp group of kids, so anyone wants to partner with me and get Nussi some merch. A few of the chevra who don't know each other got together and got him some merch that he will wear and use with pride. MDY Achdus is something we should all be proud of. Attaches a picture and a video where I delivered the merch for Penny Rabboisai. Here you go, and there's a message from Nussi afterwards. It seems like Nussi is not only MDY, he's a big Trump guy too. That's what I don't know.
And for the seer, we got smallest package is the best, right? A t-shirt! I told you. A t-shirt. Right. Very nice.
Hold on, there's a message. Listen good. Then the Gishmak to do the daf. Listen to this.
Thank you, Scott, for Edwin family, for Edwin Shpacha.
Shpacha.
Wife, father, see my life in my day. Hey, I love you. I've been going to for young kids, for holidays. Ellie, I love you. Please get results and your kids.
Shmak to do the daf. All right. Rabbi Isai, the Masechta is sponsored by Anonymous for the safe and speedy return of all the hostages. The Parnas HaChodesh, Nishmat zechurya ben Moshe, Nishmat Chaya bas Yosef. Parnas HaChodesh, Ahron Fraiman, it should be a zechus to Rebelli for continuous siyadta Shema and teaching Torah to Klal Yisroel. Amen. And Parnas HaShavua, Yaakov and Malka Luxenburg, Nishmat Rochel, Gittle, Bas Moshe, Yechezkel ben Avraham Moshe. Parnas HaYoim, in honor of Stanley Fireman, who's attending the shir in person today. Is he? Where's? Oops. Oops.
Who's supposed to be attending the shir.
In honor of Stanley Fireman, who is supposed to be attending the shir in person today, by Anonymous, maybe he'll walk in the middle of shir, we'll know who he is. Anonymous Fireman. You know Stanley Fireman? Anonymous with his zechus for an easy childbirth for his daughter and a healthy baby. I think he lives in Florida, no? Fireman. Unless I'm mixing people up again. Rabbi said we're holding like 12 lines from the bottom. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Omer Rava, Tes Bava Metzia. What? Oh, it's Shamshi's father-in-law, and Shamshi put it in, but Shamshi couldn't get it off today. I got it. It is Shamshi's father. Okay. Yeah. Omar Rava. We're going to go through some halachas over here. Not everybody together. When there's a machloikis, Rav and Shmuel in Mamonis, in Dina, how do we paskin like? Shmuel. You do a lot of zichru, you should have known that. Did you scream out the wrong answer? Okay. Omar Rava. Hilchasa. So, just to have fun here, the guy owns a field. The Ganav comes and kicks him out of the field. Okay.
That's Amud Beis, 12 lines from the bottom.
I said it twice. For those who need three times, but not for me. Reb Nachman will say for the third. We're in Bava Metzia. Okay, it's the middle tractate of the. You're in the wrong Masechta. I got it. You should show up more often. So, oh yeah, I forgot to wake you up. Come, inside. Sit in your seat. Your seat is available. Where Mom just started. Oh, okay, when he comes. Gewaldig. So, let's go back to the chart for a second. A guy steals a field and he sells the field. The guy that buys the field from the Ganav invests in the field 30. It costs him 100 and he invests 30. Does he get back when eventually they kick him out of the field? Does he get back to 30? The 100 for sure he gets back. Does he get back to 30? Shmuel says, you don't get back to 30. Do you remember why? It looks like ribbis. Yechezkel, it looks like ribbis. Is the halacha like Shmuel? This is a time that Rava says we don't go like Shmuel. Typically we go like Shmuel when it comes to Mamonis, not today. Today is not such a good day for Shmuel. We're going to go against him in three different things. The halacha is he has the improvements. We pay him the improvements, not like Shmuel. Even if he didn't specify that I will pay you the improvements, he gets the improvements. Another case that we had yesterday. A guy was doing business with a bad guy. He bought a field from a Ganav, knowing that it's not the Ganav's field. Shmuel says he doesn't get anything. You shouldn't have been doing business with a Ganav, and the fact that you did business with a Ganav, you were probably giving him a gift, you were probably giving him a deposit. Rav says no, he gets his money back. That's how we pass it. Another halacha. Achrayus to soiferu, that when you don't see the mention of a lien in a document, it's because the soifer made a mistake. Bein b'shtori halva, bein b'shtori mekach u'memkar. The Gemara asks a question that you see that Shmuel holds that you have to ask. You ask the guy, hey, you want me to put a shibud in here? You want me to put this in here? The idis. So obviously Shmuel doesn't hold about achrayus to soifer, and the Gemara wants to say there's a difference between alva and mekach u'memkar. Over here you see no. In all cases, not like Shmuel, in all cases, achrayus to soifer, we have to assume that there's a guarantee, there's a lien that has to do with real estate, even though it's not mentioned in the shtar. Okay, so those are the three halachas. All three like Rav and not like Shmuel. Boy minei Shmuel mirav. This is a super interesting shiloh. You're dealing with a con artist. He's a con man. He sold a property to somebody when he never owned the property. Hold cup here. It's geschmack. He goes and he decides to be nice to the guy that he stole the property from, and he goes and he pays him for the property. Does the owner of the property have the right to sell it to whoever he wants? Yes, it's his property. If the owner of the property sold it to a random guy, Stam Ruvain, is the sale a good sale? Yes. If he sells it to the Ganav, is it a good sale? To the point that the Ganav goes, this Russia Marusha, and kicks out the guy he duped into buying the property before. He pretends it's his property, sells it to a guy. And then when it's really his property, he says, hey, by the way, it's mine. You bought it from a con artist last month, but guess what? There was no mechira here. Believe it or not, the Gemara says, so let's see inside. Actually, there's a little bit of a chart. Let's see. Let's get to the chart. Here. So step one is a guy steals the field. Step two is he sells the field to Mr. Lekeach. Step three is the Ganav goes and he pays the one that he stole from for the field. So now it becomes his field. And now the question is in step four, can the Ganav kick out the guy he sold it to? No, what does the Olam say? Zechurya, halachically, yes. But what if he did sell him, when he duped him into buying it, he actually sold him the rights, that if he ever has the right to it, like the Davish Lei B'Olam kind of thing, something that didn't come to the world yet. I heard about the story and I didn't believe it, but I started looking into it more and just Google it. It's there with the guy's name. A guy, I forgot how long ago, a long time ago, maybe 100 years ago, a guy sold the Eiffel Tower to a bunch of investors. He told them that they're knocking it down and you could buy the scrap metal. When they caught onto it and they put him away a little bit, he went ahead and he sold it again. He sold the Eiffel Tower twice. It's a true story. He's known as like the greatest con artist that ever lived in France.
He said they're going to use it to build the Brooklyn Bridge.
He sold it to. I want to know, did he sell it to Americans? Okay. So here we have this guy. He sells something that's not his. He sold the Eiffel Tower to somebody. Then he actually went and he bought the Eiffel Tower off the government. And then he kicks the guy he sold the Eiffel Tower to, he kicks him out of there. So Rav tells Shmuel, yeah, again, Rav was the Gala Adar. And he tells him, when the Ganav sells something, when he sells him the Eiffel Tower that he doesn't own, he sells him all his future rights in that tower. So if he ever acquires that tower, he sold him those rights. My timer. What's the logic behind it? So we have a machlokes what the logic is. They're very, very similar, but there are differences. One is, even a Ganav doesn't want to be known in the street as a Ganav, so he tries to make things right eventually. And he tells the guy, listen, I did rip you off, remember? But I was having a rough day, this, that. But now I want to make it good. I went ahead and I purchased, I did a true purchase from the real owner, and now you could have it. I'm trying to clean my name. Okay, that's pshat one. Ravash Yomar Nichale the Leiku Behemenuse. I have a shtickle picture. The guy wants to keep his word. He keeps his word. Okay, he said something, he's gonna stick to his word. So what's the difference? He's gonna stick to his word, or he doesn't want to be called a Ganav. My benayu. What's the difference? If the guy that was duped, the lekeach, the guy that purchased originally the Eiffel Tower, the field, if he dies, so he's not going to call him a Ganav. Who's calling somebody a Ganav? The guy that was ripped off. Everybody else doesn't care. So what if the guy ripped you off? Yeah? So what? That lekeach dies. Mando manichale deloy lekari gazlana. Homisle. So Mando manichale deloy lekari gazlana. According to the Mando, it says, I don't want to be called a gazlan homisle. The guy is dead. He's not going to call you a ganav. So here we have the three different. If the purchaser died, at the end of the day, you didn't keep your word. You didn't keep your word. But if you're concerned about people calling you names, he's dead. So it's not a concern now. So there's a check. It's good. The guy's not around to call you a name. It's not a concern. But if you want to be a person that keeps your word, you didn't keep your word. The guy has children. The purchaser, the original purchaser that's dead now, he has children that say, hey, this guy didn't keep his word. They're also going to call him a name. Therefore, we have to try this thing. Not that the loikech died, but the gazlan died. And look at Benayu, the Miss Gazlan. Taisa says that the Gazlan bought the guy. The Gazlan bought it off when he was dying. He's on his deathbed, so he decided to be, do tshuva on his deathbed, so he bought it. The Gazlan himself died, so he doesn't really care when he's in the grave what this guy's going to say about him. He might not even say anything. He's dead. But according to the Mandama, that says he wants to keep his word, even though he's dead. He wants his word to come true. He said that I'm going to get you the field. I'm going to make it good. You're going to have your field. So he wants it to happen. A person wants to keep his word. There was a Givaldik Mice. I said this a while ago, but it's Kedai, especially for the new guys, especially for Jonathan who wasn't here that day. There's a person who took upon himself Arvus. He signed for somebody else that if something happens, he'll pay. The guarantor to whatever, large loan. The guy, I need some tissues here. Thank you. I don't want to damage the wood. I'll just say the story while I'm doing this. So the guy went bankrupt and he, hold on, gotta lift this. Guy goes bankrupt and he runs away. He leaves the country. And the guy that signed the guarantor couldn't reach him, not for 2 years. Didn't get hold of him. And it was a very bad situation. The guarantor and his wife, they take a trip to America, where the guy ran away to. They had to go to a wedding. They come to the wedding, and the wife of the guarantor bumps into the wife of the guy that took the loan and ran away. And she sees her, and she says, "Wow, I haven't heard from you in 2 years. Shalom Aleichem, big hug, the whole thing. Where have you been? Why did you disappear?" Okay. What happened was that the husband had never told his wife that the guy went bankrupt and didn't pay him back. He hid it from her. He didn't want to lashon hara, whatever the reason was. So after the wedding, the wife of the guy that didn't pay the loan comes home and says, "You're not going to believe it. We bumped into this woman, and she hugged me as if nothing happened." So the guy was very moved, and he went and he got a loan. He took out a loan, and he called up the guy and says, "Listen, I didn't realize that you're not upset at me like this. I thought that you hate me and this and that, so I was avoiding you. But now that I see that you mamish, you have no tightness against me, I want to pay you back fully." And he paid him back. What a tzaddik. Hello, I'm trying to encourage these people, and you just ruined it all with one line.
Very nice. It's a very nice story.
Are you going to write it in your book?
No, but it's very nice. It's very nice.
Listen.
Okay.
Says Gemara, so if Karl b'nei Gazlana, what do we gain? What do we gain? At the end of the day, the Gazlan died, but they're going to say you're the children of a Gazlan. So the Gemara finally says, "Ella," and here it is, the final one. Elo ike benayu, the Yoava b'matana. The Ganav never sold it. What the Ganav did, he's a nice guy. He stole and he gave it away to somebody. Okay, Robin Hood, yeah. He stole, he gave it to somebody else. A nice guy. According to the Mandal, it says the problem is that a person wants to keep his word. He doesn't want the original owner to come and take it away from the guy he gifted it to. He wants to keep his word. He'll keep his word. But according to the Mandal, that says he doesn't want to be called a Gazlan. Who's going to call him a Gazlan? I gave you a field. I didn't take money from you. I gave it to you for free. I'm not a Gazlan. Okay, so what? A shakri, not a gazlan. It's a big difference. Big difference. So we have this idea that if the ganav goes out of his way and he repurchases the field from the original owner, he's basically trying to make up with the person he took money from, and he gives him that field. Now the question is, Zabno, what if, here, check this out, the Gazlan steals a field. He sells it to a person. And guess what? This guy's good. He sold it again. A guy in Mishkafayim sold a property 4 times. Yeah, we say it all the time, but it happens Yom V'Layla, unfortunately. You sell the same thing, you can sell the Eiffel Tower twice, you can sell a property 4 times. Yeah, I guess, is it not really like registered 100% here?
Somebody dropped the ball. It shouldn't be done all. Really?
No. If you have a good lawyer that works on your team, you can do it 5-6 times. Nobody dropped the ball. This was done deliberately.
Someone didn't even do it.
He did do it wasn't in the thing. The original lawyer that did the real deal didn't put it in, didn't push send. He pretended. You're saying it doesn't happen. Have you heard the story? Have you ever heard the story? Rabbi Greenfield, you're in the business. Has it happened here in Eretz Yisrael? Yes. Okay, that's it. So somebody dropped the ball. I don't know who. Somebody dropped the ball. By the way, amendment to the other story. I said the guy from the Hebrew Shir said that his parents made aliyah to Israel. They bought a house. When they got here, they found out that the house was sold to somebody else also. So they picked up and they left. So he wanted to tell me they left, but they came back 13 years later. So, but it happens, unfortunately.
No, I like that.
Now, question.
That he likes.
I have a committee here that knows this way, that knows that way. It's very, very tough, very tough. Usually, okay, listen, this is how it works. I'll tell you right now, Bamis, this is how it works. I come to Seder, and my chavruza says, they told me that the shiur was very, very good today. I said, wow, that's bad news. That means the shiur was terrible. I know it is. It was Mendy. No. It's they told me. When he says they told me, code Mendy. They told me that the drawing was very good, very bad. Whatever he says, I know it's the opposite. I don't care anymore. Mendy, I love you, but I'm not going to base the shiur on you guys. I love it. Okay, Nishmat. Let's go. I don't care what you say. I'm not going right there.
What's the point of this?
Just remember that when you tell your chavruza something, it's going to get right back to me. And he says they. Yeah, they. Mendy, he calls you they. You're Lashon Shlishi, they. All right, anyways. This 10 minutes. Oh, you're right. Anyways, the point is like this, Rabbi Isai. This ganav is such a ganav, he keeps on selling it. Does he really care about the first guy? If he, after step 3, he goes to the guy he stole from in step 1, and he pays him. Does that mean he wants to give the field to the first guy he duped or the second guy he duped? He doesn't care about anybody. Ursa, he gave it as a Yerusha. I didn't say Pshita. Pshita, it's Pasha, the Zabna. If he sold it to the second person, Urta, he gave it in inheritance to somebody. Viyav Matoni gave it as a gift. Lav Lu'ukma Kamei Lekeach Kabai. He's busy with other people there. He couldn't care less about the first guy he duped. There's already a second guy in the picture. What if, this is funny, Naflalei B'Yerusha, the Ganav got the field that he stole B'Yerusha. What's the story? He has an old uncle in a nursing home. So he says to himself, listen, I'm anyways probably going to get it B'Yerusha. Let me do the guy a favor. Let me take it from him now. It's all Meir Hetters, yeah? He doesn't care anyway. It's just sitting there. What does he know? Okay, so he steals it. And then once it's his, he already sells it. The guy's still alive. And then eventually he gets to be Yerusha. Now, do we have the same logic? Now he has it. Is he trying to make good with the guy that he duped? No. The answer is no. Why? Because he didn't go out of his way to purchase it. He just got it. So it doesn't mean that he cares about the guy he duped. He's still a ganav. Yerusha Melehi. No, it happened by itself, and he doesn't really care about the lekeach. He didn't do anything. This is also a super interesting story. A guy steals a field. Look what happened over here. He steals. He borrows money. He sells the field to somebody. This is something else. So this is Zavna Urta. Okay, we're still holding there. Next. He borrowed money from somebody. Then he steals the field. You like that? Karate kick. Here, check this out. Bam. Okay. He borrows money. He steals the guy's field. It makes sense. Listen, he borrowed money. Maybe he won't pay me back. Then he sells that field that he stole. And then he goes and he tells the guy, listen, you owe me money. I want the field. If he never lent money, says, hey, I want your field, I want to pay you for the field, we said it goes to the lekeach. He's trying to be nice to the original guy he stole from. But in this case, he borrowed money and he's trying to take the field as payment for the loan. Doesn't mean that he wants to give it back to the guy that he stole from. It's step 3. In step 3, he dupes somebody into buying the field. Does he want to make up with that guy? Or he's just trying to get his loan back? So the halacha is like this: if the guy that he lent money to has 2 fields, and he purposely asked for that field that he sold off to somebody without permission, is anybody following me? There's too many words. Then that means that he went out of his way to get that field because he wants to make up with the guy that he stole from. Yeah. Let's say he steals the Eiffel Tower and sells the Eiffel Tower to somebody, and he also lent money to the owner of the Eiffel Tower. So if he goes out of his way and he says, listen, I want the Eiffel Tower, that means, and the guy also has the Twin Tower somewhere, or I don't know, the Sears Tower. He owns a lot of property. He says, no, I want the Eiffel Tower. Why do you say I want the Eiffel Tower for my loan? Because he wants to make up with the guy that he originally sold it against the halacha. It wasn't his then. But if he only has one piece of property, and so there's no right that he's trying to help that guy out, he wants to get his loan back, and Memela, it doesn't go to the guy that he lied to. Says Gemara Chazina, I dafka want that one of the 2 properties, the one on the right. Then he's trying to be nice to the lekeach, the guy he do. And if he only has one property, he obviously wanted to pay back his own loan. After he stole, listen to this. This is a crazy story. He steals a guy's field, and the guy that he steals from gives it to him as a gift. Like Yerusha, right? But this time you're such a nice guy. You only stole one of my properties. Let me give it to you. Or I see you're so needy and you really need it. The only reason you stole because you're a nebuch and you don't have. I'll give it to you as a gift. So the halacha is that he doesn't really. He got this field for free. So that doesn't mean that he cares about the guy he sold it to for fake. It happened by itself. No. A matan is different. I once said in Shir, years ago, I said that I love certain cakes from New York. Big mistake. I learned my lesson. A guy, as a joke, and being nice, he sent me a box, 50 pounds of all sorts of cakes from New York. Okay? Yeah, of course, 3 days later, he paid just for the shipping probably $1,000. Okay, we once sent one little thing. We know shipping is very expensive from here. Box is big. So it's very hard. Let's say I want a piece of cake. So I hint in Shir that I like cake from New York, and I expect some guy to send me a piece of cake from New York. It's a hard job. I like a lot of cakes from New York. I'm not allowed to eat it because if I do, I blow up. It's not geschmack. Like the Castell, yeah, but I'm not gonna. Okay, fine. And then my wife says, so why did you say in Shir that you like cake? Why don't you just say you like diamonds? Okay. I thought, okay, it's just cake. Well, what is somebody going to do? I guess somebody's going to spend $3,500 on cake? No. $1,000 for $20 worth of cake. Schmack. Okay, but it's not easy for me to get that cake. I have to work hard. I have to drop hints here, there. It's like a whole matzav. Not hints that anybody can have that it's a hint. It's like a roundabout. It's okay. I like ties. This company, then all of a sudden I start getting ties. It's Shemi Raga. Huh?
Is that a hint? Do you want the cake?
No, I don't want cake. I want the diamonds. Again, if anybody wants to send me a gift, let me repeat for the new guys. If anybody wants to send me a gift, forget about getting me a new guy for this year. Take a page for MDY. That's good. Oh, now we're going to have 700 pages. Oh, how? They say that this is not shaykh to the Gemara. That's what they say. But the others say... The guy works really hard to get a gift. What do you mean he gave him a property as a gift? What, people give you gifts? He worked hard. He dropped a lot of hints. He mowed his lawn. He took him to the nursing home. He lifted him up, put him down. It's a whole matzav. It's not stam pashat. If not that he worked hard for it, that's why he's matriach himself. That he should come out a good guy, that he got back the property. But Mendel, you understand now how check the sugya? Perfect.
This has a point.
Yeah, okay. They all do, just you have to think about it for a second. Vademas. Yeah, like the Chavetz Chaim ran after a guy. Okay, fine. I'm not going to say it then. So until what point does the Ganav really care to make his name good? And we're saying, oh, the reason why he purchased it from the guy he stole from is to give it to the guy he sold it to. So we have a three machlokes on Ravuna Achas Hamad Bedin. Once the guy that was robbed goes to the Torah with the Ganav and tries to get his field back, why didn't you do anything before? And why are you waiting until Bezdin made a psak against you? Obviously, you're not a good guy. It's the same idea. What's an adracht? We're going to have to see it soon. There's like three different things that we're going to be talking about. Hempek is on the star itself. There's a stamp from the Bezdin. This is a great star. Adrachta is that Bezdin say, we agree that there's a problem here and that eventually, after 90 days, whatever, you could go grab fields. And Chaltasa means there was a hachlata. There was a decision that after, what does it say? Ishur Bezdin lemalva lachar shegav karka kedin. Yeah, after the malva already took the property, he was able to recoup the property after he made a loan. So Bezdin say, okay, there's a chaltasa. So 90 days after the psak din, they give you an adrachta. You're able to go and take property. Once they give you that psak, you're not a good guy if you purchase the property. You don't care about the leikech. When they do an auction on your property because you're a ganav, so they already go to auction. Once you go to auction, now you're doing tshuva. You're trying to go to auction. Okay. As a side note, a very interesting thing, Rami Bar Chama is brought many, many times in Shas. Anybody want to take a guess? Not that you heard it from me last night, but a guess. How old was Rami Bar Chama when he was nifter? 25 years old. Says Rami Bar Chama, Michdi, again, what happened there? I'm a Ganav, I sell you the Eiffel Tower. And then 5 years later, I am able to purchase the Eiffel Tower from the French government, and Memela becomes yours. But how did it become yours? What did you do to acquire it? Halachically, you have to make a kinyan. What kinyan did you make? So there was a star between them, but it's a fake star. He was a Ganav, he didn't own the Eiffel Tower then. But my it's just a piece of a broken shard of earthenware. You know how it goes? It works because the purchaser that was duped into this whole thing, he believes the Ganav. And because the Ganav got a certain satisfaction, it was worth a pruta. He didn't complain to him, hey, you're selling me the Eiffel Tower, you're a Ganav. And he relies on him that he's actually eventually going to take it and buy it. And with that, he goes and he goes out of his way and he gets him the Eiffel Tower. That's how you do it. What is that called, Rabbi Isai? I'm selling you today the Eiffel Tower because in 5 years from now it's going to be mine. I'm selling it to you today. That's whatever I will inherit from my father should be sold to you today. And whatever my net is going to catch, it's I can't sell you something that didn't happen yet. However, there's an exception. The Gemara is going to explain why. If I get inherited, if the guy says if his father's going to die this very day, then it does work. If today I go fish, then it works. Okay? Rav Sheshes is an unbelievable galadar, and here's his unbelievable question. Great guy, great question. In other words, how do you acquire something that never came to this world? How did he sell him a field that he didn't own? Omerava gaver kachazina. I see a very great man, but I don't see a great question. Why? Over here, when you sell him the Eiffel Tower, we're saying that he relies, the buyer relies on the ganav seller. But when a person sells an inheritance that his father might leave him, he has zero reliance. Zero. Why? Because his father might sell the property to somebody else. His father might not die. I don't know what. He's not Samich Das. He has motivation to go out of his way and buy the Eiffel Tower because he doesn't want people to call him a Gazan. But over here, he has no motivation. And he asks this question to Rabbi Zavda. It's don't bring this into the yeshiva according to Wamshat and Rashi. Wamshat is such a great question, we're not going to be able to answer it. The other pshat is, don't bring it to the yeshiva. Like, reminds me, I love this story. The Brisker Rav, somebody came to talk to him and learning. So the Brisker Rav put his hands on his child's, maybe it was Rabbi Shaber, put it on his ears so he shouldn't hear. He says, I don't want you to hear the shtusim. Keep on going, yeah. And they said, you know what, go into the house. I can't hold your ears like that. A Bachar asked Reb Chaim Shmulevitz a question. So Reb Chaim Shmulevitz says, listen, I have an answer, and this is going to answer a lot of your questions. He says, listen, Bittul Torah is not just not learning, it's also not thinking. If you come and ask me a question because you didn't think for another 5 seconds, had you thought out, you wouldn't have asked me this question. So you're over on Bittul Torah. Don't do it again. So this is such a question, don't even bring it to the Beis HaMedrash. It's not even worth coming to the Beis HaMedrash. Why? No, this is a good question. There's an afkamina whether I rely on the person or I don't rely on the person. If I rely on the person, then it's a good kinyan. There's a story, and they ask this question. This is a terrible question. Talmud says, I don't know why it's not chutzpah, but you said the same answer. Why is it if somebody sells his father's Yerusha in 6 months, it doesn't work, but if it happens today, it works? There's an idea that you want to use the Yerusha to pay for burial. Now, if you're going to wait until the father dies, how many people are able to sell property after a person dies before the burial? Within an hour, I'm going to sell a property with lawyers, with everything, boom, 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 boom. It doesn't work like that. So at least give him a head start. He sees his father's about to die, he starts selling the property right away. For that day. The famous story where there was 2 brothers. One was religious, one wasn't. The non-religious brother wanted to cremate the father. So the religious brother made a whole fight. The guy, he said, I'm not listening. I'm cremating him. So he said, you know what? We both got $5 million inheritance. I'm going to give you my $5 million so that you don't cremate dad. He said, okay. Halachically, he had to give the $5 million. That's what they pass him. Because you don't get any inheritance until a parent is buried. You have to use all the inheritance to bury it. So it cost him $5 million to bury him. That's what you have to do. It's not your money until you bury your parent. That's what it says here. The Yerusha goes to bury a father. And whatever I catch today, it's a special halacha. The guy's starving, he needs food, so we allow him to do a davar shaloi bala olam in this one circumstance, but not in general. Turning the daf by Kidnovations in honor of my uncle Reb Elchanan Pressman and as zechus for Akiva Simcha Ben Feiga, and Ner Tamid of Baltimore, Maryland, in honor of Fishel and Simcha Gross. Thanks to them, 137 people learned, 16,166 dafim, and over 727 minutes of Torah. Rabbi said, just to remind the Olam, 195 people took upon themselves pages, and we're going to raise a lot of money, Be'ez Hashem, to increase Torah in Klal Yisroel. Be'emes, to increase Torah and to make Torah more enjoyable for those who are already part of this year. We have a lot of plans and a lot of good things to do with the money. Amar Avon Amar Rav. Says Rav, again, this is halacha of davar shloi ba'olam. I am going to purchase a field and I'm selling it to you now. You know what? It happened to me, and I'm sure it happened to many of you in this room, especially here in Eretz Yisrael. You buy something, it happened to you, Mendy, I know for a fact. You buy something, remember, you had a Mardik story. He was buying something for a year, only to find out that the guy never owned it. Back and forth and back and forth. What is the guy thinking? as soon as I sell it to him, I'm going to take the money and buy from the guy that did it. Okay, so that's not really what happened, but okay, I'm going to sell you this field when I buy it. Omerava, and what does Rav say? Kana, it works. Omerava, Mistaber Mills of the Rav, we have to say that it's talking about Besod Stam. He didn't say this specific apartment, this specific building. I'm going to get you an apartment. This contractor to do work in my house, he took 500,000 shekel from a woman on condition that he's going to give her a small apartment, like a tiny little apartment. So he took the money and he said, okay, here's your apartment. She said, I don't like it. This went on for 6 years. He finally got it now. So he had her money for 6 years. He's doing all these jobs and everything. So, here's the money for a future deal. It works. Stam. And this is Mama Stam. This case that I just told you, she didn't say, I want this specific apartment. Get me an apartment, small 40-meter apartment, whatever it is. Here's money. So the Gemara says, Alba the zoo loy. But if you specify this, it doesn't work for the future. Why? How do you know that he will be able to acquire it and then give it over to the person he just did the deal with? Says the Gemara Elohim in Hashem's name. It's Hashem. It's a shvuah. I don't know if you could say, okay, you could. You probably could anyway. Omer Rav, afilu b'sodazu. Even when he specifies this field, again, what happened? I'm going to buy this building, and when I buy it, I'm going to sell it to you. Give me the money today. I want your money now. Michdi Rav kiman amor l'shmaite kiremeir. Rav is going like the famous Remeir. Domer makne dover shloi b'lo'ilam. There's a famous concept in Shas, dover shloi b'lo'ilam. Or the makne dover shloi b'lo'ilam. Something that doesn't exist yet, can I sell it or not? Remeir is of the opinion you could. The Sanya. Famous case. I like the shidduch. There's a small problem. I'm not Jewish. When I become Jewish, we'll get married. When you become a Giyaris, that happens a lot. When we become free, which is totally not up to them. When after your husband dies, this is really disgusting. Worse than that might be coming to the woman during Shiva and proposing a shidduch or something. Okay, it happens also. You got to chop right away. I have, for those who have never seen it and they're new to the daf, we have a real chalitza shoe. Don't try to purchase this. This is one of the most expensive shoes you could possibly buy. Thanks to, I forgot his name, Merchman. Yaakov, exactly. Thank you. Shkoyach. $1,000 shoe. This is bad news also. A guy's married to a woman. You're not allowed to be married to two sisters. He tells his sister-in-law, listen, your sister's about to leave to Olam HaEmes. Let's get married. It doesn't work. Why? It's davar shloi b'lo'ilam. It's not in the world yet. It does work. Says the Gemara, a woman, you're pointing to her. I want to marry you. I know exactly which woman I want to marry. It's still davar shloi b'lo'ilam. Why is a woman davar shloi b'lo'ilam? Because it's not in her hand to kill her husband. She can't kill her. She certainly can't be free. She can't free herself. Certain things she can't do. It's not biyodis. I'll tell you real quickly because it's Erev Shabbos. Try. There's a lot of Rishayim, Arurim that think they could kill people. They come with knives and they kill. It doesn't work out the way they want it to work. They get a bullet before they. Unfortunately, yesterday it wasn't like that, but a lot of times it is. So you're not really in control. Rashi uses a lashon. It's not in their hands. So in this week's parsha, it says about Moshe Rabbeinu. Because Baruch says to Moshe Rabbeinu, pick up the Mishkan. Now the Mishkan weighed hundreds of tons. Don't pick up the Mishkan. He's a human being. Because Baruch wanted him to try, go over it and pick it up. I forgot who says the Yalkut the famous. I forgot who it is. He says that I forgot again. I knew this morning. I forgot that in all ruchnis it's like that. Because Baruch Hu doesn't want you to pick up Shas, 2,711 daf. He wants you just to start one daf. Do one daf. You do one daf. You come to one chair. I'll do the rest for you. It's too hard to do a huge ruchnius undertaking. Just start. Put your hand. Pretend that you're lifting it, and I'm going to lift the rest. Oh, so too, in our case, when I point to a building and I say, when I purchase the building, it's going to become yours. Give me money today. According to Rav, it works. This is a little bit of chazara. You find the shtar akna. Does the oilam remember what a shtar akna is? What's a shtar akna? Rabbi Sai. Nobody? Who's the future option? I'm buying today. I am makna you today my property. You could go and take my property, even though you never gave me a loan. Even if you give me a loan in a month from now, you could have my property today. Shtar akna. If you find such a shtar, bashuk yachzir lebailam. The imishum, the cause of livas v'lilava. What are you concerned that they never took out a loan? Hashav nafshei. It doesn't matter. He said you could have my property today, whether or not there's a loan. V'mishum piroin. And if you're concerned that the loiva paid it back, loichashidan lepiroin, says Shmuel. Right? We had this before. Shmuel is not concerned that you paid it back. Why? The misa the pare mikravik karale. He would have ripped it up into shreds. Omer Rav Nachman Abba min safar dayona de mar Shmuel hava. Says Rav Nachman, my father worked as a cipher for Shmuel. I was 6 or 7 years old. They used to yell in Vezin. If you find a star that says that your property is Meshuba today, the Mishtach Beshuka that you find in the marketplace, you give it back to the original owner. There's a question, if your father's name is Abba, that's his name, Abba. There's people that have that name. Could you call him Abba? Or you have to switch it to Daddy? You're allowed to call your father Abba when his name is Abba. So Rebbe Vad Yosef wants to prove from over here that you could, because Rav Nachman's father's name was Abba. He says his name is Rav Nachman bar Abba. It's mashayla in that. But over here he says, hey, Abba said like this and like this. And he's talking to him as a father. So, welcome back, Yirmi. Oy vavoy, I lost. If you find the shtar from Bezdin, give it back. We're not concerned about Piroin. Is that a good raya? No. We already showed what that is. It's stars that say, here, just put it on a star that says that you could go collect or that you deserve this already. That we gave it to you, we made achlot, it's yours, or you could go collect. Some are not goris the drachta. Omarava. What? You can't collect with these? The Gemara says these are not things that you don't take the shtar and you collect. It's just Bezin saying that he deserved this field, or we gave him this field. Omarava. Listen to this. Shuma hadat tresa yarchishata. If you owe somebody money, you owe $1 million. The guy comes, and what does he do? You don't have $1 million. So what does he do? He kicks you out of your apartment, and he takes your apartment. What if he one day he's able to come up with $1 million? Could he take back his apartment? So the Gemara says over here, yes, for 12 months. No, he has his entire life. We're going to see the svar. Why could he do his entire life? So the question is, how do you give back this document? To the Malva, maybe the loiva paid him back. We said he could pay him back. He has 12 months to pay back. And then he's going to use this document and kick him out for the second time. It's his problem. The reason why we give back the document is because it's his problem. The pare, as soon as he gave it to him, he should have ripped up his star. He should have written something. He doesn't have to. Once the malva takes it, your apartment, he doesn't have to give it back. And listen to this unbelievable line. There's something that's not lefnim mishur sadin. The halacha is one, but there's a pasuk that says, as general pasuk, you should be straight, you should be good, you should do things that are straight and good. And the Chacham said that in this case, this guy is everybody, right? We're all attached to our houses. Nobody wants to be thrown out of their apartment. And if chas v'shalom you are thrown out, give him at least the ability to take it back one day. You don't care. You're not attached to it. You just want the money. So he took his apartment. But he lived there his whole life. He brought up a family there. Give it back to him. Hilkoch Mereisha with the Kozovin, immediately it's like he purchased it when he got it back. He should have written something. But when it comes to a loan, what's his excuse? You're telling me, oh, he should have ripped it up. No. The Malva says, listen, I don't have the shtar. you know what? You owe me $5 for the soiver who wrote the shtar, and the loiva has to pay. You don't have it? When you pay the $5, I'll rip it up. So what does he do? He doesn't have the $5, now he lost $1 million. It happened to me, and I'm warning the Olam real quickly. What's the pshat? Why didn't he write it? The Rishonim ask. So write a document that I gave a shtar, and I'm just waiting to pay the $10 for the shtar. Because he's embarrassed. He's embarrassed. He gave him a loan. The guy was nice to him. He gave him $1 million. Now he's going to say, hey, write up a document. So I want to tell the Olam, no matter who it is, no matter, it could be your own father, it could be your own wife. If you're doing a deal with somebody, your own brother, you're craving. Always write a shtar. Something that's embarrassing. Say, hey, just put it in writing. It's embarrassing, but it saves a lot of issues later on. Rabbi Yisai, have a wonderful day. Have a great Shabbos. Today the shir in Hebrew is at 2 o'clock, according to 2 mincha. Motzei Shabbos, 8:30, and 9:45 to 10.